Review question number 14. Graph the quadratic function f of x is equal to negative x squared minus 6x minus 8 and determine the following. A is the intercept, so the y-intercept, the x-intercepts. B is the vertex. C, is it a maximum or minimum? What is the axis of symmetry? Where is the function increasing and decreasing? And finally, what is the domain and range? Well, first, let's talk about the easy parts of this, right? So we know the direction this parabola is going. It's negative, which means our direction, it means it's going this way like this, which means it's going to have a maximum. So that maximum value, we can determine that. So we can say maximum right now. We'll come back and talk about the value that goes with the vertex and the axis of symmetry. All those can be answered with that question. The function increasing and decreasing, well, that is going to take us to the shape. We need to draw that shape, and then we can be able to answer E and F of this thing. All right, so first let's talk about the intercepts. The first intercept is fairly easy. What is the y-intercept? So the y-intercept is when x equals 0. And if x equals 0, the only thing left over is going to be negative 8. So that's our first intercept, 0, negative 8. Make sure you write it as a point. The x-intercepts take a little bit more work because we need to set our function equal to 0. In other words, x squared or negative x squared minus 6x minus 8 equals 0. I'm going to go ahead and move everything on the left to the right. And so it's going to say 0 is equal to x squared plus 6x plus 8. I should be able to factor that as x plus 4 and x plus 2, which merely means that x is negative 4 and x is negative 2. And so our x-intercepts are going to be just that. It's going to be negative 4 comma 0 and negative 2 comma 0. And we just answered part A, the y-intercept of 0, negative 8, and the x-intercepts of negative 4, 0, and negative 2, 0. The vertex is negative b over 2a to start that one. Because remember, our vertex is also a point in space. Our b value from our original is negative 6, so it looks like negative of negative 6 divided by 2 times a. A is negative 1. And so that's going to give us positive 6 over negative 2, otherwise known as negative 3. So our vertex is going to be negative 3 comma something. And we're going to take negative 3 and we're going to stick it into our function. So we're going to have negative of negative 3 squared. So there's our negative x squared. Minus 6 times negative 3 minus 8. All right, negative 3 squared is 9, and there's a negative in front of it, so that's negative 9. Negative 6 times negative 3 is positive 18, and then, of course, a negative 8. Negative 9 and 18 is 9, and 9 minus 8 is 1. So it looks like our vertex is at the point 3, 1. Okay, which also tells us some other information here, right? Our maximum is a maximum. But what they want to know is, where does that maximum occur? Well, it occurs when y equals 1, because that's from our vertex. That's the highest it's going to get is when y equals 1. The axis of symmetry is x equals the x point from the vertex. In our case, negative 3. X equals negative 3. All right, let's graph this thing now because we know a bunch about it, and then we should be able to come back and answer parts E and F here. All right, so we know our vertex is at negative 3 and positive 1. And we know we have a y-intercept at 0, negative 8. So somewhere down here is negative 8. We know the shape goes down. That's great. And we know we have now x-intercepts at negative 4 and at negative 2. And there we go. All right, so let's go answer the increasing and decreasing. So remember, increasing and decreasing, don't look at the arrowheads. Look how the graph goes. From left to right, where is it going up? Well, that would be from negative infinity all the way to the x point here of negative 3. So it is increasing from negative infinity to negative 3. Now, because negative 3 is the top, it's neither increasing nor decreasing at that amount there. So we're going to round that parenthesis too. And then from negative 3 to positive infinity, it's going to be decreasing. The range, all right, and domain. Domain is the x value. So left to right, do you see any restrictions on what x can be? You don't. So the domain is everything. Negative infinity to positive infinity. The range, however, is up and down, and you can see it doesn't go all the way up. It does go all the way down. The arrowheads show that it goes all the way down forevermore. What it doesn't do is it doesn't go up. So our range is going to be from negative infinity all the way down that it goes, all the way to a value of positive 1. So the range value is negative infinity to positive 1. And that positive 1 is included as part of the range value, and so that will get a squared bracket because of that. And there you have it. We just did 14 from the review packet.